We live? We're live. What's up, guys? It's Friday night. Ain't got a whole lot going on. Sitting back, getting some stuff done. Figured we'd go live on YouTube. And also, we are going to announce the winner of a giveaway. Well, not really a giveaway, but for the people that have been interacting on the videos, giving the videos a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, sharing the videos, leaving comments. I told you guys I would be picking random people at random times to win a t-shirt, decal, Whitetail Session Outdoors hat, or something like that. Well, this week we have a winner, and it is Stephen Flanders. What's up? What's going on, buddy? It's Stephen Flanders. So Stephen Flanders, if you are watching or when you go to rewatch this video, find us on Facebook, Whitetail Obsession Outdoors, Facebook. Send us a message and we'll get you some stuff sent out to you. So again, it's Stephen Flanders. So if you guys are wondering why he's getting this, it's because it's been probably a month now. What's up, George? Plots are coming along. 2 weeks we'll be throwing out some seed and planting. So Stephen Flanders, he has been interacting on the videos. He's been giving the videos a thumbs up. He's been sharing the videos and leaving comments and things like that. So he's been pretty active on the channel. So Stephen Flanders, again, if you're watching this or you go to rewatch, just send us a message on Facebook right here, Whitetail Obsession Outdoors, and we'll get that sent out to you. What's up, Dave? What's up, Terry? What's going on, guys? So this video, I'm going to talk about a few specific things, and then also if you guys have any questions, you can fire them away. Sometimes the questions on here pop up so quick I can't get to them. So if I didn't answer it the first time, just leave it again, and hopefully I will see it and I'll try to answer it for you. So it's a YouTube live Q&A. Haven't done a YouTube live video in a while now. I don't know how long this is going to be, so you guys don't have to watch it all, but if you want to join in and watch, or you can always go back and rewatch and things like that. Right now, hunting related, over the course of 3 years, well, probably 4 years, it's been steady downhill for me as far as hunting property. I pretty much tell you guys everything that's going on in my life, whether it's good, bad, and things like that. Terry, plots are coming along. We'll be planting in about 2 weeks. Pretty much tell you guys everything, good, bad, what's going on. I usually say things that's like, brutally honest, that sometimes that upset people, and the way the world is now, a lot of times people don't like hearing the truth about stuff and things like that because it makes them uncomfortable, and we're so used to watching television and seeing things out in the world that everybody's trying to be so politically correct with stuff that's what we're used to, and then when somebody says something different, people get upset about it. So I pretty much tell you guys everything. Well, over the course of 3-4 years, something like that, I started filming hunts. I guess this season will be 2.5 years now. Dave, he's coming along, Dave. Thanks for asking. Getting better one day at a time. Still a transition process for everybody, but definitely coming along. Thanks for asking, man. So this will be, I guess, this will be the third full season of filming and doing videos and things like that. It'll actually be almost a year as far as pushing YouTube videos. I did upload like 3 videos like 3 years ago, and I just never followed up with YouTube. But for the past almost a year now. It's been steady pushing YouTube. I like it. I enjoy it. I like making videos for you guys. And obviously not everybody is going to like the videos. Not everybody is going to, you know, interact on them, and that's fine. If you don't like the video, that's okay. Not everybody is going to agree with each person. That's just the way, you know, it goes, and things like that. So before I started filming hunts, it's kind of weird, but before I started filming hunts and getting into all this stuff, I had great hunting property. Thanks, Steven. I had great hunting property. I had properties that I was able to manage, properties that I was able to control. I had a lease, but over the course of the past few years, I have lost majority of the properties because of money. I had some people come in that offered the landowner a crap load of money, just money that I couldn't afford. So, which is fine. That's fine. People are able to do that. That's fine. I had 2 landowners that passed away, lost the property, and things like that. So those were my good properties. So, and it's funny because that all happened right when I started filming hunts. So right when I need property to film and do all this stuff that I want to do, that's when everything goes downhill and I lose all the properties. So right now, I'm pretty much stuck hunting small little pieces of property behind people's houses, honestly. I have 3 properties. One's 15 acres. One's 7 acres, and one is 3 acres. And then I do have a farm still. It's not mine. I pay to hunt there. It's almost 300 acres. I think it's 275 acres. There's big deer there. Over the course of 5 years, I've hunted there now. I've let majority of all small deer go. This will be the second full season of spraying that property with antler grow, and from what I've seen a massive increase in body weight and deer size, antlers and things like that. And you see on this deer here, this is just an older deer that I've shot years ago, but you guys see all these little bumps and nodules right here? They're called nodules, by the way. All these bumps and nodules is from nutrition. That's all nutrition right there. When you see all them bumps on the bottom, that's nutrition. When you see all the bottom is all smooth and everything, that's just lack of nutrition. Well, this deer, you can see it's got a bunch of nodules all through the back here and things like that. Well, from trail cameras down the farm, I'm starting to see nodules on the base of the antlers, which is a good nutrition, which means they're getting plenty of nutrition. There's big deer there. It's in an area in Maryland that is known for big deer. When I first started hunting there was all small deer, but over the course of several years, you let the little ones go and things like that. And I'm not a trophy hunter by any means, but I definitely don't want to shoot a younger deer. I want to let the deer go and let them get as big as possible. And I'm happy with shooting like a 3.5-year-old deer, or heck, if it's big enough at 2.5, you know, I'll shoot it at 2.5. I don't need to shoot 180, 200-inch deer. I just don't need to do that. But if I'm giving the opportunity to be able to do that, then I will. But the problem with this property is even though it's almost 300 acres, there's 3 other hunters that hunt there, but the surrounding area is highly pressured, and even our farm is highly pressured because the deal that the leaseholder has with the farmer is that I don't know the schedule for it, but they allow the raccoon hunters to come in there all night long and coon hunt. So they're constantly pushing the deer back and forth, scaring them away. It's highly pressured, and things like that. They also have horseback riders that come through on a regular basis with dogs, and they travel through the property. So the property is constantly pressured. It's a major problem and on there, but it's nothing that I can't control. I can't control that. So what I can do is do what I can do with, you know, helping the deer, you know, let little ones go, trying to get there and hunt the property when nobody's around, and things like that. This year will be the first time ever that there's ever been food plots on that property. I currently have 2 of them that I'm getting ready to plant here in about 2 weeks, and things like that. And another issue is that the corn, the farmer plants corn, but years ago it all used to be beans. Well, years ago when it all used to be beans, you were able to pattern the deer coming out from the woods into the bean fields, and you could shoot monster deer. Well, now it's all corn. So all the deer pretty much stay in the corn because the horseback riders and the coon hunters and things like that pressure the deer, and they all just stay in the corn. There's no reason for them to leave. So you have the struggle with that, to try to pattern them and things like that, going in and out of the corn. So these food plots are just kind of in travel areas where I can stage them a little bit, hopefully stage them in the areas on some ridges and things like that, and hold them there long enough to get me a bow shot. So when things like this come up, you have to change your strategy, and that's what I'm trying to do this year. The other properties that I have, one is 15 acres, one's like 5, and things like that. Steve, any hog problems? Or no, I don't. There may be hogs in Maryland, but if there is, I've never heard of it. I'm not 100% sure, but I've never heard of a hog being in Maryland. It's possible. How far are you away from PA? Are you close? Depending on what part, but I mean, I can get to York, PA in roughly 45 minutes. I'm like an hour and 15 from Lancaster, hour and a half from Harrisburg, which I was at today, actually, Harrisburg, PA. But with losing all this property, you have to change your strategy a little bit until I can get a legit farm of my own, and where I can do whatever I want on it. I can manage it, it'll be mine, and things like that, which is what I need to do. But the problem with that is, in Maryland, most of the, like, I'm tired of hunting, knocking on doors and hunting behind somebody's house. There's no rules. You know, anybody that knocks on the door can go in there. The landowner gives them permission. I want a physical lease in my hand saying that it's my property, I'm leasing that property, and I can do what I want to it, which is what I used to have years ago. So I'm working on that, currently working on it. The problem is, in Maryland, property is so expensive, it's ridiculous. Most of hunters that do this, that hunt, is like a hunting club. You get like 5, 10, 15 people together, and they join together and they hunt. Well, I don't want to be in a club. I don't want that type of situation. So I get offered to be in clubs all the time, but when you're in a club like that, you can't do what you want to do, and it's just different. There's different things that you can do, and I just don't want to be in a club. I want my own lease, which I'm trying to get. I mean, all winter long, I've knocked on hundreds of doors, thousands of flyers, talked to hundreds of people, and I can't find nothing. And I'm not asking for sympathy or anything. I'm just, like I said, I'm explaining to you guys the situation. I tell you guys pretty much everything. So in Maryland, it's so expensive. So a lot of the times in farms in Maryland that you see that people hunt on is usually like a family member or something, or a grandfather or something that has all these his farm properties, that lets their nephews or cousins or whatever hunt there, or it's something similar to that, because it's very expensive. Now, I've been looking in Ohio for leases, which is hard to find because you usually have to get a lease in Ohio or anywhere like the year before. So I've been trying to do that. The problem is it's expensive. And if I could get like maybe myself and another person to do that, then we could split it and things like that, and it would work out a lot better. But I live alone. I have one income. I spend a lot of money on what I do with cameras and filming and things like that. So there's really not a whole lot of, I mean, I make pretty good money, but there's not a whole lot of money to just throw out to a hunting property and things like that. So if my ideal place in Maryland, if I had to pick Maryland, it would either be like Kent County, Queen Anne's County, Charles County. Charles County is like the #1 county in Maryland for like non-typical bucks. So it'd be like one of those 3 counties. Super expensive. It's crazy. But with that said, not asking for, I'm just explaining to you guys what's going on. My goal, the end result, is to have my own property like I used to have, and I can do what I want. I can manage it. I can show you guys from start to finish on things like that, and how to grow bigger deer, food plots, and things. Right now I'm just kind of crunched down into not being able to do a whole lot with the properties that I do hunt on, and I can't throw out a whole lot of money onto them because there's other people that hunt there. You can't control what other people want to do with shooting smaller deer and things like that, so it's just a struggle. There's always public land, but I don't want to hunt public land. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do all this with filming and things like that, and I love it. But my focus is trying to find hunting land for myself and things like that. And my goal for like the companies that I work with, I need to do this. I need to get property and things like that to be able to do this even better and things like that. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know where the money. I need like to win like the freaking lottery or something. Win the lottery, and then something can happen. Maybe like Ohio or Iowa or something like that can come up. But that's what's up. That's where I'm at right now. It's basically, it all boils down to money. You know what I mean? Having money and being able to get a hunting lease. It's expensive. Hunting's not a cheap hobby, and definitely not cheap. It's a fun hobby. I enjoy it very much, but it's definitely not cheap. So we'll see what happens this year. Hopefully I win the lottery. Been playing a lot recently, but who knows? Never know. Something might pop up. Might get somebody says, "Hey, I got some land." I talk to everybody. I ask people all the time on job sites and things like that. And that's how I find like little pieces and things like that. But my ideal would be like, I don't know, 150, 200 acres, 250 acres, something like that. Something that has thick cover, you know, some open areas for food plots, maybe a pond, some ridges, hardwoods, acorns, white oak, a lot of oak trees, things like that. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Something could happen. Something can happen tomorrow, and you know, I have 200 acres tomorrow. You just don't know. We were working on something. I was working on something with Antler Grow. Last year we were trying to work on something in Ohio, but that fell through. Not sure, just 100% sure exactly what happened with that, but yeah, West Virginia, that's not that far, but I need something. I'm picky too. I don't want something in West Virginia. I don't want nothing in PA. I either want Ohio or Maryland, but it's got to be like on the eastern shore of Maryland, and things like that. I don't want to spend money on something in an area that I don't necessarily want. I want to make sure that it's a 100% sure that it's an area that I want truly. So whether that's Eastern Shore of Maryland, Southern Maryland, Ohio, like Coshocton County, Muskegon County, or things like that. Ohio, Maryland is expensive for houses and land. It is, but I'm not gonna fork out money for an area that I don't want. So that's the problem. I'm picky too when it comes to all that. So we'll see. Keep playing the lottery, and wish for the best. As far as that goes, now I'm done complaining. 2 weeks from now, I'm going down to the farm. There's 2 food plots there that I need to plant. I think I narrowed down what type of plots I'm gonna plant there. I'll show you guys on some videos that I do. And I have my parents' house, which it's only like 4 acres, but 2 acres, but it surrounds a lot of woods, and I've talked about it many times. This is actually where I killed this deer here, 2 acres. Killed this deer there 15 years ago. This deer scored 172 inches. When people found out that I shot this big of a deer in that area, hunters, like, you come outside, I was a kid, 13, 14 years old. I'd come outside and all you'd see through the woods is orange vests. Like, everybody found out that I killed this deer there, and the entire woods was full of hunters. You couldn't, 50 yards apart. It was crazy. And then they pretty much killed all the deer off. There was nothing left. They killed pretty much all the deer. And then after that, you never see a deer. Years go by, you would never ever see a deer. I had got into trail cameras, put trail cameras out, and there was nothing. You put corn out and you put all kinds of stuff out, and there's not a single deer in sight. So 5, 6, maybe 4 years ago, I finally saw a deer on trail camera. There was just a scraggly looking doe come through. So then 2 years ago, I started treating there's a field in the very back. I started treating that field and the browse in the area with antler grow, and I put a camera on it, and that scraggly looking doe came through. She was feeding on all the browse and everything, and then it just got more and more and more and more deer. Well, then I hunted there last year on a ground blind. I was able to kill a doe, and I had, at one point, I think I had like 10 deer out in front of me. So the deer are now replenished. They're back in that area again, and I had a food plot, a little spring food plot there that I was actually testing with something, but I killed that off. Getting ready to plant a fall plot there here in about 2 weeks. It should be awesome. We're gonna be treating that with antler grow as well once that comes up. I already set a ground blind up there, brushed it in. We still got like 43 days or 42 days before opening day of bow season, so I'll be ready for that one. So I'm gonna have three food plots this year. Yes, they are, for sure. So we'll get that planted. We'll get the 2 down the farm planted. And also, I had a lot of people asking me why I'm not posting trail cam pictures. Well, there's a reason behind that. I'm not posting a lot of trail camera pictures because the properties that I do hunt on, people I know and people they know I hunt there, and with what I'm trying to do with filming hunts and everything, I've had a lot of theft. I've had people steal tree stands, spy point camera. I got wiped out last year. Stole so many trail cameras, and and I haven't been posting on social media because so many people that I know and friends of their friends see it on social media. Like, if I post a big buck on trail camera, they see that and they pretty much know where that's at. And I haven't been doing that this year, and I haven't had zero theft. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been posting a lot of trail camera pictures, is because of that. It's just a shame, you know, it resorts to that. Like you guys, I'm sure some of you guys know Clint Presley. He lives out in Iowa. Well, he put a spy point camera out. It's 3/4 of a mile away from where he parks at and where the house is. Okay, it's a giant farm out in Iowa. He put a trail camera, spy point trail camera, 3/4 of a mile away from where he parks. It was there for 2 weeks. He goes back. Okay, somebody took out 2 batteries and stole the SD card out of it. He calls me up flipping out. Why? It's just crazy that people have to resort to that, and they have to do that. And he took out 2 batteries and took the SD card. I mean, come on. Why? It's getting to that point now to where you just it's in your best interest to not post everything on social media and things like that, because this is the things that can happen. It's just a shame. And especially when you start out, like, I'm nobody special at all. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself well-known, special, some expert hunter or nothing like that. I enjoy hunting. I know a lot about hunting. But when I got into filming hunts, and I started at the bottom, and you start moving your way up, you get a lot of negative things towards you from other people, and you get haters, you get jealous people, you know, especially when, you know, they're not moving as quick as you are in the industry or something like that. It's a lot of hate going on, and it's just the way that it goes. I don't worry about it. I don't care. I just act. I have to take the professional route, and you can't really say a whole lot, because then they'll just use that against you, and it's just a spiral effect that just never ends. So your best bet is just to let it go and move on, and just do your thing. Do what you like to do, and move on. But they took, like I said, Iowa took 2 batteries out and stole his SD card. Why would somebody do that? Don't know. Who knows? They obviously wanted to see what was on his camera. But he's got plans for that. We're gonna catch who did it. So hopefully, and if we do, we'll see what happens. But yeah. So that's why I haven't been posting a lot of trail camera pictures lately, is because of that. Done that, Steven did that. What's up, Drop Time Junkies? We did that. Danny beat their ass. Would love to, man, but you can't do that. You gotta take the professional route. I would love to, trust me, but you gotta take the professional route, and you can't do that. But I lost what I was saying now. Trail cameras. We'll see if we can catch the person that does that. But that's why I haven't been posting a lot of social media pictures as far as trail camera pictures go. I'm trying to keep it to where I don't have any theft this year. Somebody just commented and said put them in steel boxes. I've done that last year. They cut the cables. I had chains, locks, cable locks around my tree stands. I had tree stands stolen. It was a nightmare last year. So who knows? Speaking of SD cards, Walmart has 16 gig SD cards, $67. Well, I just bought 10. Awesome, man. I've been getting SD cards on Amazon. There was like a 6-pack of 8 gigs. I think it was. It was cheap. It was like $12 or $18, something like that. And also, there's so many areas that I focus on putting that I spray with Antler Grow, because Antler Grow does act as an attractant. I need 1.5 million trail cameras to do that. You know, some people use a mineral pile that you dump on the ground to get pictures, well, that's okay, but that mineral pile isn't doing anything. I've went over this about minerals and mineral piles that you put on the ground. There's not a single biologist or nothing can say that minerals on the ground that you dump on the ground, a granular mineral, has any benefit whatsoever. And if they do say that, it's because they're being paid by a mineral company to say that. So it's a good way to get an inventory of bucks, but you're just throwing your money into the dirt that doesn't do anything. So I used to care what deer are in the area, which is nice to know, but I like also being surprised. You know what I mean? By putting the nutrition there and having the deer, you know that you put it there. It's there. You spray it. You know that it's there. The nutrition's locked in the plant. You know that it's there. So you know that you're doing a good deed. So when the deer come by, they're happy. So I would need 1 million trail cameras to be able to get an accurate inventory of the deer in the area. I know from previous years and things like that I know there's big deer there. Come opening day, I'll make a decision based off of the cameras that I do pull and the properties that I do hunt. A few days before, I'll make a decision on which property to hunt. I'm off opening day and things like that. Salt licks works for me, work for you. Salt licks will work. Deer will eat salt, but it doesn't benefit them. It has zero benefit to a deer whatsoever. And a lot of people focus on a granular mineral because that's what's been pushed into people's head from television shows and all the stuff you see on the shelves, you know, with trophy bucks on the label and celebrity hunters sitting on the label. People think that if they buy that product, a granular mineral or something, they throw it on the ground, they'll grow a big deer. Well, if you read a label on stuff like that, it says treat the deer with minerals for 3 years, you'll see results, which cracks me up. Me and Jeff talk about it all the time, because if you don't do anything for 3 years, you'll see results. If you let deer go for 3 years, they're going to get bigger. So they put that on the label because they want you to buy the product. And a granular mineral, like I said, doesn't do anything. I can't even say the stuff that I know from biologists and things like that. But if they do say that it benefits them, it's because they're being paid by the mineral company to benefit, to say that it benefits. We were just talking about this the other day. You would need 1,000 trophy rocks on 1,000 acres to make zero difference in the deer herd. Okay? Minerals, that a granular mineral that you dump on the ground does nothing. You waste your money by throwing it in the ground. You'll get an inventory, but it doesn't benefit that deer at all. Deer are browsing animals. They eat natural browse, forbs, native browse, things like that. That's why you see all these land managers and hunters that are focusing on can't think of the word. So prescribed fires. You see all these people now doing prescribed fires and improving the native browse on their property because this is what deer eat. Deer are browsing animals. They eat it. They eat browse and then man-made food plots, which is higher protein levels and things like that. So that's why you see all these people doing that. Antler Grow, Steven, is a micronutrition. Micronutrition means basically it takes a little bit to make a big difference. Micronutrition is what makes humans healthy. It's what gives us our health, is micronutrients. Majority of products that you buy are macro, which means is dead nutrition, which means it takes a lot to make a little bit of a difference. We, as humans, we eat tons and tons of macronutrition, which is dead food, frozen food, fast food, food that has no life force, food that has no enzymes. It's all dead food. Micronutrition would be salads and vegetables and fruits and things like that that have live organisms and enzymes in them. That's what gives us our health. So that's the majority of the products that you see on the market are all macronutrients. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's where we're at. Like I said, I pretty much tell you guys everything that I know, that I learn, things like that. So there won't be a whole lot going on this weekend because of work-related stuff. But next weekend is where the fun begins. Seeds are going in the ground. Food plots are going to be done. There's a few tree stands that need to be hung. And then after that, nothing. Won't do anything until opening day of deer season. 2 days or 3 days prior to opening day, I'll go through, check all the trail cameras on the different properties that I have, and make an educated decision on where to hunt opening day. In Maryland, we have roughly 10 days to kill a velvet buck. Deer season, I have to check. I haven't got my license yet, but it's either going to be on the 9th or the 7th or 9th, possibly 10th, somewhere in that area. So that time of year, deer can still have velvet. So I always say roughly 10 days that you have a chance to kill a velvet buck. I've never killed a velvet buck. I would love to. That's why I'm taking off opening day and to try to kill one. A velvet buck would be awesome. Hasn't happened. I've seen some, and I could have shot some small ones. Is that September? Yes, September 7th or 9th, one or the other. Years ago, it used to be the 15th. It was September 15th for years. It was always the 15th. But I want to say 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, they changed it to like the week prior. So now it's always like the 7th or 9th, because Maryland has so many deer. I guess they wanted that extra week in there to have more of a chance to kill the deer. Maryland is so, certain areas are so overpopulated with deer, we have no doe limit. You can shoot unlimited does. You can shoot 300 of them if you want to. When you buy your license, your Maryland hunting license, you get a buck tag and unlimited doe tags in most counties. You can buy a bonus antlered deer tag. You can buy extra ones. I don't even know how many it is anymore. I think it's 4. 1, 2. I think it's 4. You can shoot 4 bucks in Maryland, and in majority of counties, unlimited does. So, like I said, you can shoot 1,000 does if you want to. That's how many does are in Maryland. The buck to doe ratio is screwed up. Majority of areas, you don't even see a rut because there's so many does. You know, it's crazy. I mean, you can go on for days talking about it. But years ago, when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, you would actually see a legitimate rut. You would see bucks chasing does. And now the majority of properties, unless it's your property that you manage and things like that, you don't see a rut because there's so many does. There's so many does, so the bucks don't have to travel. You know, if you have a shortage of does, or I should say a proper level of does, that the bucks actually have to get on their feet. They actually have to move around and travel distances to find a hot doe. Well, now there's so many does, the deer move 100 yards, 150 yards, there's a hot doe ready to go. It just depends on the deer herd. You can have a hot rut on one side of the road and dead on the other. It just depends where that hot doe is, and also the buck to doe ratio, and things like that. And also a lot plays into temperature. Like years ago when I was a kid again, it was cold during November, during the rut. It was cold, Now I'm in a t-shirt hunting during the rut. Temperature, I think, plays a big role in it as well, because usually when you get that first major temperature drop, deer will be on their feet looking for hot does and things like that. But now it's just so warm. Like, I can't remember the last time that it hasn't been lower than like 55 or 50 degrees during the rut. Couple days we'll get that cold, but it just always seems like it's just warm, which is not good for the rut, especially trying to kill a bigger buck. My favorite day is Halloween night. I always seem to have pretty good success on Halloween night. It's pretty much when the rut starts in Maryland. It does seem like the rut gets later and later every year, and I think that has a major factor with the temperature wise, because obviously the later you get in November, the colder it's going to get. So I do think that plays a big role in his temperature, and usually right around Halloween to like the second week of November, typically when the rut kicks in, maybe like the first, second, third. It just depends really, but now it always seems like it's like that second week, or even the third week is better. But years ago it was always earlier. It was always like the first week, first or second or third of November. And I always find it funny how, like, you get like the I can't think of the guy's name, but he'll predict when the rut's going to be, which the moon, all this stuff, I'm sure maybe plays a factor into it, but I don't really follow all that. It just, in my opinion, it just depends on your buck to doe ratio. It depends when you get that first cold front that comes in during that time of year, right around Halloween. If you hunt from Halloween for the next 2 weeks, that's the rut. Halloween for the next 3 weeks, that's pretty much the rut. You can't, I mean, you might be able to pick, a day or two here and there depending on the whatever, but you need to be in the woods to be able to kill one. Nobody, Charles, yep, that's it, Sean, you got it, Charles. He predicts, he comes out every year with this rut prediction, and honestly, I think it's just a way for him to sell, for deer and deer hunting, to sell magazines, things like that. Is there any truth behind it? I don't know. I don't even think he knows. But does the moon play a factor? Who knows? It may. I have no idea. I don't think that there's so many little factors. I'll put it to you this way. You can't say one thing is going to be the major factor into it. It's multiple small factors that play into all that. The temperature, the moon, the buck to doe ratio, the pressure, your property. It just depends when all that comes together. But I do think a major factor into that is temperature. When you get that first temperature drop of the year, that first cold front, I think that's the most important thing. And then comes like deer, your buck to doe ratio, and things like, you could have a major rut on your property. Possibly about all this that would be worth checking out. Thanks, I'll have to check that out. You could have a major rut on your property and not even know it, because there's so many does. The bucks don't have to travel far. They're not on their feet. They go 100 yards or 200 yards, 300 yards, whatever, and there's a hot doe. Now, if you manage that and there was less does, and you got to have a balance. You obviously can't wipe them all out. But if you lower the does, you'll have a better rut, because, the deer, the bucks will actually be on their feet. They'll be out moving, looking for a hot doe. But man, that is really raining outside. It's crazy, right? It's like a monsoon. So all that plays together, and it comes down to temperature and things like that. It's all a bunch of little factors together. It's not one major one. It's just a bunch of little ones. Less does equals more competition for needing bucks. Yes, sir. Drop time junkies. So yeah. Anybody have any questions? We're on here for 45 minutes. Probably go another 15 minutes, something like that. Anybody have a topic or any questions they want to talk about? So Jason, in mid-October last year, in November, the bucks disappeared. Yeah, it can happen a lot. It can happen a lot. It just depends on the pressure, where there's a hot doe, if there's too many does, not enough does, and things like that. It's just, there's so many factors into it, and honestly, a deer is going to go into heat and estrus when it wants to. We can't predict it. All you can do is be out there hoping that it happens around you and hoping that you're out there at the right time. But the fact is, no matter what anybody says, have you tried testing soil with vinegar and baking soda? I have not. I've heard of that, but I have not done it actually. I actually saw a video of that a month ago or something like that. So yeah, that's where we're at. And also, I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. I don't know if he's been on here yet, but Stephen Flanders, you are the winner. So make sure you message us on our Facebook page, Stephen Flanders. He won because he was interacting on the videos and things like that. And that's what we're doing. We're giving away some T-shirts and stuff like that for the people that do interact on the videos. Thumbs up, comments, shares, subscribe, things like that. Sean, what did he win? He won a T-shirt and a decal. Stephen Flanders. So I haven't seen him on here. Like I said, these comments, they pop up so quick and then disappear. So yeah, hunting season is right around the corner, guys. Sean, where's my shirt? Sean, your shirt actually went out today. Went to the post office today, shipped out a bunch of stuff, went out today. So you should have that, I would say Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. So yeah, shipped out a bunch of stuff. Thanks, Dave. Hopefully you can get yourself another one, a blue one or a black one. So, like I said, hunting season is so close. I don't even know. I think we're like 42 days, 43 days, 40 days, 41, something like that. We're so close. This year, this summer, in preparation, I've done more than I've ever done in the past. More preparation, more scouting, more tree stands, food plots, trail cameras, different strategies and things like that. So I've done a lot of work especially trying to film everything and make YouTube videos, and it's just been, this summer with work, it's been crazy. Sean, did you get that lease in Ohio? I did not. We're still working on some stuff. I talked about that in the beginning of this video. But we're still trying, still working on it. Still trying to work on some property of my own. It'll happen one day. We'll see. Thanks, Sean. So yeah, we done more prep than any other year. Josh Peppers, scent control. Just missed the lease. It sucks, man. Scent control is obviously important, but if a deer is going to smell you, it's going to smell you. You can do whatever you can to help prevent that. Taking scent-free showers, using some scent control, storing your clothes in containers. It has absolutely nothing to do with clothing. Scent blocker. What's the other one? I can't even think of the other one. But it's all a scam. It's all a joke. You can't really go by clothing. It's what you do as far as scent control. Keeping your clothes in a container, keeping them locked up, taking scent-free showers, spraying down, and things like that is what matters. So that's what I do. I store my clothes in a plastic container. Spray down every time before I go hunting. You try to hunt the right wind. The wind does swirl, so you just have to do, it's all the little things that you do. There's no matter what you hear or what you see, there's no silver bullet in anything. There's no silver bullet. You can't say this product is going to get you to kill a deer, or this is going to keep you scent free. There's no silver bullet. You can't go by television shows that say that buy this product, and they're showing all these big deer on TV. You can't go by that. They're being paid to tell you that. There's no silver bullet. These hunting shows, some of them are getting ridiculous with stuff like that, putting celebrities' faces on hunting products. And like I said, I posted about this earlier today. It's all about money. Follow the money trail, and you'll see, and things like that. Does ozone thing really work, Dave? Myself, I think that it does, because a lot of you guys don't know what I do for a living. I do supermarket refrigeration, and what that means is I don't work in a supermarket. All the walk-in boxes, the freezers, the coolers, all the frozen food cases that you see, I service them. There's big machinery that controls all that, big compressors and motors and stuff. I work on that. That's what I do for a living. It's a trade that I've been in for like 16 years now. So starting out, I did HVAC, which is heating and air conditioning, commercial. So I went to many classes regarding ozone. And back in the day, I did some health seminars regarding ozone therapy for treating cancer and stuff like that, because I'm still into it. But years ago, I really used to be into health and natural health, stuff like that. So I learned a lot about ozone, on how it can kill bacteria. I've seen some data regarding it. So does the ozone thing work? I think that it does. I have no proof to say that, but in my opinion, I do feel like it does help. Like I said, there's no silver bullet in hunting. There's no silver bullet product that you can just put out there and it's going to work for you. What works for me may not work for you, but remember that there's no silver bullet in anything. No matter what you see on television, there's no silver bullet. I recommend stuff to you guys that I don't get paid for, but I don't have a television show, and I don't want a television show, because I want to connect with you guys on an average hunter's level. The average hunter that has to work every day, gets home, rushes home, takes a shower, and rushes out to the field to try to kill a deer. That's where I connect with you guys on, is the average person. I show you guys, or try to show you guys, things that could possibly help in that. And even if I did get paid, it would still be the same way. It would still be the same way of me trying to help the average hunter, and things like that, because that's what I like to do. So I recommend things to you guys that work for me, and the data and the science and research that I have personally seen, I tell you guys about. I tell you guys pretty much everything. So when I tell you guys that antler ice works, or these socks right here, Altera socks, they're great socks. They work for me. They're great socks. When I tell you that, they're not saying, hey, promote my socks, I'll give you $100 or I'll give you $1,000. They're not doing that. When I use these socks, they work. When I tell you guys Antler Grow works, it freaking works. There's here's a small bottle here, Antler Grow, but the data that I have seen from this, it works. I'm telling you, Antler Grow is the most passionate product that I've ever seen, that I've ever used, and the things that are coming out from Antler Grow Company in the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months is gonna blow you away. I'm telling you, it's there's nothing like it on the market. And again, you can't just go spray Antler Grow and expect to kill a deer. It doesn't work that way. There's no silver bullet. I'm not saying you can go spray Antler Grow and you're going to kill a 175-inch deer. Doesn't work that way. What we can do as hunters, and what we can do is you try to leave the area and the property better than what you found it. So if you can spray a product that's so universal on natural browse and food plots, when you're increasing that nutrition in that plant that the deer are naturally eating anyway, that's what you should do. You giving the deer the nutrition that they require, that they thrive on, is micronutrition. That's what makes human beings, that's what makes animals healthy, is micronutrition. It's not macro. Macro would be like carbohydrates, some fats, which are important, but they don't do anything for as far as like making us healthy, and making us healthy. Steven, I wish I could afford it. I know it's $80 for a gallon, but that gallon does treat 5 acres of natural browse or food plots. So if you break it down, $16 or something per acre, it's not that expensive. $16, $14, I don't know, I suck at math. But if you buy a gallon, you're good. Now if you have like a big farm or big alfalfa fields or clover fields, then yeah, it could get a little costly, but farmers are using it now because hay fields, crop fields, any kind of crops, beans, soybeans, and things like that, they're getting an extra cut or extra 2 cuts or an extra 3 cuts off their clover fields or alfalfa field. They're getting extra cuts off of it, so it's saving them money, it's making them more money. So you have to look at it, you have to break it down per acre and realize how much that it costs, which is relatively cheap, because you can go buy a granular mineral in a bag that doesn't do anything. It costs $20, 15, $20. You dump it on the ground, you get some pictures on it, but you're just throwing your money into the dirt that doesn't do anything. It does not do anything. So you're wasting your money with that. Did you vote for Trump? I did. I voted for Trump. So you have to use common sense regarding all of this stuff. You have to use common sense. You have to not let television, a celebrity or something like that, try to convince you otherwise. You can't watch television and see a 200-inch deer that somebody's shooting and they're promoting a product because they're getting paid to do that. They're getting paid to do that. It's not real life. It's not the average person. Nicholas Dean, what about Trophy Rock? We just talked about this earlier in a video. We just had this conversation, and I'll probably get lit up for saying it, but people don't like hearing the truth. You can have 1,000 acres. 1,000 acres. You can put 1,000 trophy rocks on 1,000 acres to make no difference whatsoever. A granular mineral does nothing for deer. Nothing. Does not make them bigger. Does not give them bigger antlers. No biologist or scientist can say with proof with data, with facts, with numbers, that a granular mineral increases antler size or deer size or whatever. None can say that. If they do say that, it's because they're being paid by a mineral company. It's just a fact. Like I said, money is the root cause to all evil. Follow the money trail and you'll see. You'll follow the money trail. Minerals have been in the hunting industry forever because, man, it's really thunder and lightning. Because they're cheap. They're cheap. When you buy a bucket or a bag of minerals, it is dirt cheap for that company to make. Dirt cheap. And they're making profits off of it. And it's been pounded into people's head that, and they've become so popular because you dump a pile of mineral out and you get all these pictures and the deer are sitting there licking at it or whatever, and then you got television shows and celebrity hunters' faces that are being printed onto that bag of mineral, and people see that, and when you're a hunter, sometimes you get desperate and you're like, man, I need this product or I need this product, and you see a celebrity's face on it or you trust that person and things like that, and you think just because that celebrity's face is on that bag that you can dump that bag out and you're going to grow a 200-inch deer. It doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. Deer, think about this, deer are in the wild every day. They eat natural browse. This is what they eat. Acorns, browse, native browse, forbs. This is what they live on. This stuff was here before anything. This stuff is there all the time. It was before our time. It's been there. Deer focus and eat natural browse. This is their home. This is what they do on a daily basis. Deer feed roughly 3, 4, 5 times a day because they need food. They're just like us. They have to eat. So this is what they eat. So this is why you see land managers and all types of different hunters focusing on prescribed fires, focusing in on opening the canopy up to allow more sunlight to get to the ground to create all this natural browse, forbs and native browse to grow up, because they need to increase their food. August 1st, Danny, August 1st. So they're increasing the amount of food on their property with natural browse and native forbs and things like that. This is why you see them doing that, because deer, this is their woods. This is what they do. This is what they eat. So that's why everybody's doing it now, and that's where deer get nutrition from. That's where they get bigger and things like that. So there are some natural browse species that are high in protein. Poison ivy is actually pretty high in protein. Deer eat poison ivy all the time. It's pretty high. But for deer, majority of the time, need a 15% protein level to either maintain or increase their body size, antlers, things like that. So when you spray antler grow onto that browse that the deer are already eating, that plant absorbs that product and you're making healthier plants. So you're taking, say, 15% protein. Well, now all of a sudden that product has a 20% protein or 25% protein. And if you spray food plots are already going to be naturally higher in protein, as long as the soil's right and all this other stuff. But most of the time it's going to be higher than your natural browse. So then you're taking 20% protein to 25 to 30% to 35% protein. So it's just crazy on how that works. the comment. I didn't even see the comments. They went so fast. So when you see people that say, you know, deer need salt, if they're eating natural browse, it increases their salt in it. There's salt in natural browse. This stuff has been there. Deer survived years without salt blocks. Okay, deer survived years without salt blocks. It's all just money. It's money. You have to look, follow the money trail, and you'll see there's salt, there's nutrients, there's micronutrients, there's enzymes in natural browse, okay, that deer eat. They get plenty of salt from all of that. Okay, it's in their diet. They don't, just because a deer is eating more browse doesn't mean they need more salt. Don't mean they need to sit there and lick a salt block. Not to mention, salt blocks and like granular mineral is being banned in a lot of states and a lot of counties because of CWD. You get all the deer crunched together on a mineral pile, stressing them out, and saliva sticking around. You know, a lot of states and things like that are banning the use of like a granular mineral, even corn feed and things like that, because of CWD. So, like I said, follow the money. Don't let a TV show or a celebrity's face on a product convince you that that product What are your thoughts on CWD? I have some thoughts on it, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video. I'm actually going to make I've been thinking about it. I'm going to make a separate video regarding CWD, and over the next couple of weeks, I'm no scientist. No scientist at all, but I have some opinions on CWD, and I'm going to make a video about it and see what happens. But Danny asked when the giveaway. Also, guys, when you're watching, Danny brings up a good point. August 1st, okay? Antler Grove contacted me. We're going to do a massive giveaway, okay? We're doing, I see this Antler Grove. 100 bottles of these are being given away in 30 days. So So 100 bottles of these are being given away in 30 days. So basically what we're going to do on our Facebook page, Whitetail Obsession Outdoors, if you go over there, August 1st, there's going to be a brand new video for 4 weeks. So there are going to be 4 videos that'll be posted. 1 per week, 4 videos total. On those videos, you have to, if you want to win a bottle, you have a pretty high chance of winning. 100 bottles in 30 days. So it's going to be something like the video will be posted. You have to like the video, share the video, like Antler Grove Facebook page, and just comment on the video like your favorite hunting picture or something like that. And at the end of the week, we'll pick 25 people to be a winner, and Jeff Beeler from Antler Grove will get all the info and he'll ship you out a bottle. So there'll be 25 winners per week that'll win. So you have a pretty high chance of winning. It's going to go for the whole month of August. So it'll be 100 bottles in 30 days. So if you guys do want a chance to win a bottle, this bottle here is 4 ounces. It'll cover 5,000 square feet of natural browse or food plots. In the month of August, it's a pretty good time to not spray large areas. That nutrition is locked in that plant. So now you want to use the small bottles to start spraying around like your bow stands and things like that to attract them into bow range. And this is legal. All states is legal. No worries. It's legal in all states. So if you guys do want a chance to win, head over to our Facebook page. Keep an eye out there, and you could have a chance to win a bottle, and you guys can give it a try. Every person that has tried it, I've heard positive feedback from. And like I said, over the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, there's major things going on with Antler Grow. I can't talk about it right now, but there's major stuff going on. We will be at the Harrisburg, PA hunting show. Jeff Antler Grow will have a booth there. I'll be there for several days with him in the booth, talking to you guys and things like that. So that's in not till February, but I'm just letting you guys know he will be there. If you guys have specific questions, you can ask him, and I'll be there as well. He would be the person to ask though regarding anything specific. I can answer some questions regarding it and from my personal experience, but he's the mad scientist, the man, the myth, the legend behind Antler Grow. So August 1st, guys, Antler Grow, 100 bottles in 30 days. So with that said, does anybody have any last questions before I hop off of here? We've been on here for 71 minutes. So if anybody has any last questions, fire away. Sean Tucker, I want a bottle, gotta try. Danny, good odds. It is pretty good odds. It's pretty good odds that you guys will win a bottle. 25 per week. Can't go wrong. It's a big contest. It's major. It's over a few thousand. It's a few $1,000s in product. Did you finally get rid of those bees? I did. I went back, killed them off, and actually I went to the other side of the property to do some work, and I actually got hit in the elbow right here, and it wasn't good. I swelled up like a basketball on my elbow. Sean, thank you, buddy. Sean's always got some nice words and compliments. So I'll give it a few seconds, see if I see any questions pop up. Let it go for a couple seconds here, a couple minutes. No? Alright, guys. Well, thank you for watching. If you're on here and you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.